Everyone wants a good deal, right? But when buying a house, how do you get the best deal? In this video, I'll give you some tips on getting the best deal and some thoughts on how to find those deals. Hi, I'm Bruce Boyes from Homes and Life, here again to educate and help you in learning about homes and show you some options on enjoying life. And thank you again to those who have subscribed and liked this channel. Now here are some thoughts and tips on getting the best deal on a real estate purchase based on my observations as a realtor. Just a little bit of a sidebar here. When I say homes, when I say houses, it all goes under the category of real estate. I know I've mentioned this in other videos, but I'll stress again that the first step in buying a home is financing. When the seller knows that you've taken steps to ensure that the financing will go through, they'll often look more seriously at your offer. Financing is one of the biggest hurdles that buyers have to jump and one of the most common reasons that offers to purchase collapses. I will also mention again that I usually recommend buyers talking with a mortgage broker about their financing, as mortgage brokers have more financing options for you than a bank does, and sometimes will be able to get you a better interest rate. And if you're able to purchase with cash, then it may be advantageous for you to provide proof of funds along with your offer. Now that the funds to purchase the house have been addressed, I'll give you some thoughts about getting the best deal on the purchase. Some normal in-the-box ideas and some out-of-the-box ideas. And also keep in mind that a good deal is not always about the price. It may be the possession date. It may be what is or is not included in the sale. Or there may be other negotiable items as well. The situation is for a buyer to talk to a realtor about helping them find a house. This is good. And for most people, it is the best scenario. Explain to your realtor what you would like and what your budget is. And are you a person who doesn't mind doing some work on the house yourself? The average person wants a home that's move-in ready. So if you don't mind doing some painting or some minor repairs, you may have more chances of getting a better deal. Those purple and green rooms may be a turn off for some people, but that can be an easy fix with some new paint. So look for hidden value. Ask your realtor to be checking the newest listings as well as the oldest listings. A new listing may be willing to accept a lower offer for a quick sale, and an old listing may decide to grab the lower offer just to have it over and done with. And their motivation may have changed over time. You'll also find that certain times of the year can have an effect on how flexible a seller may be. Spring is usually the hottest time to sell, with a higher amount of buyers, and the selection will usually be at its best, while winter is more of a buyer's market with less buyers and a smaller selection. Often somebody who has their property on the market over Christmas is someone who is motivated to sell. When you do find a property that you like, don't just rush in with an offer unless it's a really hot market, but do your due diligence first. What are similar properties in the area selling for? Is the neighborhood a good neighborhood? Is it a safe neighborhood? What's the history of the house? Has the house been a rental? Or was it a drug house? Sometimes neighbors can be a great source of information. And if possible, check the title and find out what mortgages are registered against the property and how much is owing. If the property is heavily mortgaged, this may affect the ability of the seller to accept your offer. And have there been other offers? And why isn't this house sold? These are all questions to work on with your realtor. And I'll stress again here that you should have your own realtor. one who's working for you to get the best deal, and not the listing realtor whose primary job is just to get the house sold for the seller. You'll need to work with your realtor to come up with a price and also have reasons why the buyer should accept your offer. Usually your realtor will present this offer to the listing realtor with explanations of why you're offering this price. And often there's quite a few behind the scenes discussions that go on your behalf. If the seller has a good realtor, they'll counsel the seller to try to work with the offer. And one thing to keep in mind while trying to get a good deal is that if the seller gets offended by your offer, sometimes they may be more difficult to work with. Now, to start looking outside the box, have your realtor check expired listings that may fit your criteria. The sellers may still want to sell, but got discouraged because the house didn't sell previously when it was listed. Your realtor can talk with the past listing realtor to inquire about the possibility of selling. And there are also realtors who specialize in repossessions and foreclosures. So a check on their websites may be beneficial. And your realtor can also contact these other realtors to just inquire about properties that are upcoming. The banks may sometimes prefer to have a quick sale at a little bit lower price rather than hold on to the property for an undetermined length of time just to hope to get a few more dollars out of it. And going for a drive is also a way of finding possibilities. Often banks will hire a management company to look after the property while it's being foreclosed, and they will post a notice in the window. So if you see a house that looks vacant with a notice in the window, it may be worth checking into. Sometimes the city or county can help you to determine who the owner is, and you or your realtor could get in contact with them. And again, neighbors could be a great help. Another option is for sale by owner properties, FSBO. We call them FSBOs. So a FSBO is a for sale by owner property. And usually the sellers are doing a FSBO because they want to save commissions. And yet, statistics tell us that a property listed with a realtor will usually sell for more. That works in your favor as a buyer in that you can possibly buy a FSBO at a price that's lower than the market value. And in addition, the sellers may also agree to some commission for your realtor, which means the realtor can help you with the offer to purchase. It'll be done properly, and there'll be safeguards for your protection in that offer. Another out-of-the-box solution to find a good deal is to advertise on social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they don't cost anything and they can get your message out there. But do take precautions to protect yourself and your identity if you're using social media. Also, advertising boards in stores are a good place to post paper ads explaining your search. Now, there is a school of thought that says not to worry about the seller's feelings. Just give them the lowball offer. And then when they reject it, repeat the offer again a little while later if the property still hasn't sold. And if they reject that, repeat it again. And this has worked for some people. I prefer to see a situation where the buyer has purchased the property for the best price and that the seller is happy with the transaction. As I mentioned before, it's not always about the money. Moving is one of the most stressful things in life. So can you think of some ways that you could make this transaction less stressful for the seller? Would it help them if you disposed of any furniture that they didn't want to take? And while most sellers will give the house a good cleaning before they hand the keys over, would it make it easier on them if you did the final cleaning? That's providing the house wasn't absolutely filthy while they were living in it. You were probably going to clean it anyway before you moved in. These are just some more ways of getting the seller to come to accept your offer. Now, I hope these suggestions will help you to get the best deal on your real estate purchase. And if you have some suggestions or questions on getting the best deal, just mention them in the comments down below. I'd be interested to read them, and I will reply to any questions. And if you found this video to be of value, please click the like and the subscribe buttons down below. And remember, life is an adventure. I'll talk to you again soon.